Well, what's in 44? I guess we'll find out.
It's making the case further, if we need to, that his chosen
Okay.
one is Jacob, Israel,
Yeah.
slash. Okay, 44, verse 1. But now my servant, Yaakov, Israel, whom I have chosen, who have made you, formed you in the womb, and I will help you.
Yes.
This is what Yahuwah says. Don't be afraid, my servant Jacob. Jeshurun? What's that word for you guys?
So that name it's a name of Israel, but it's like when Israel is functioning in obedience, when it's doing the role that Yah created for it, then that's the name applied. And it's not used anywhere else. So it's a really good gem there.
Huh. Whom I have chosen. I will pour water on thirsty ground and rain on dry land. I will pour my ruach on your offspring and my blessing on your descendants. They will spring up with the grass as poplars spring up by the streams. Only one person will say, I belong to Yahuwah. Another will call on the name of Yaakov. Another person will write on his hand Yahuwah's and will adopt the name of Israel. I know so many of us who have done this. I myself have done this. We have done this. I'm calling myself Israel. I am
Yeah.
Israel because I follow their God. And that's what makes me part of that country and part of his nation, part of his people. Because I do what he says, man. It's important. The nation from idols, but the Lord formed Israel. The nations form idols, but the Lord forms Israel. That's how it's titled. Yahuwah is Israel's Melech. Melech is king. And Goyal, he is Yahuwah Savaot. What does yours say in the place of the word Goyal?
Are you in verse 6?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Yahweh, King of Israel, and its Redeemer, Yahweh, Master of Legions.
This is what Yahuwah says. I am the first and the last, and there is no Elohim except for me. If there's anyone like me, let him say so. Let him tell me what happened when I established my people long ago, and let him predict what will happen to them. Don't be afraid or terrified. Didn't I make this known to you long ago? You are my witnesses. Is there any Elohim except me? Uh-oh. There is no other rock. I know of none. This is Yahuwah speaking. There is no other rock. I know of one. I know of none. I know of none. All who make idols are nothing. Their precious treasures are worthless. Their own witnesses do not see or know anything, so they will be put to shame. Nothing comes from them making gods or casting metal idols. Everything associated with the gods will be put to shame. The craftsmen themselves are only human. Let them get together and take their stand. They will be frightened and ashamed together. Blacksmiths shape iron into tools. They work them over the coals. They shape them with the hammer, working them with their strong arms. They get hungry, and their strength fails. If they don't drink water, they will faint. Carpenters measure blocks of wood with chalk lines. They mark them with pens. They carve them with chisels, mark them with compasses. They carve them into forms of people, beautiful people, so the idols can live in shrines. They cut down cedars for themselves. Then they choose fir trees or oaks to let them grow strong among the trees in the forest. Then they plant cedars, and rain makes them grow. These trees become fuel for people to burn. So they take some of them and warm themselves with them. They start fires and bake bread. They also make gods from these trees and worship them. They make them into carved statues and bow in front of them. Half of the wood they burn in the fire. Over this half they roast meat, and they can eat until they are full. They also warm themselves and say, we are warm. We can see the fire. But the rest of the wood they make into gods, carved statues. They bow to them and worship them. They pray to them, saying, Rescue us because you are our gods.
They do not know and they do not understand, for their eyes are smeared, prevented from seeing, and their hearts from comprehending. He does not take it to his heart. He has neither wisdom nor insight to say, I have burned half of it in the fire, and I've baked bread on its coals. I've roasted meat and eaten it. Shall I make the remainder into an abomination? Shall I bow to a stalk of a tree? The shepherd is but ash. A foolish heart deceived him, and he does not save his soul. He does not say, Is there not falsehood in my right hand? Remember these things, Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I fashioned you to be my servant. Israel, do not forget me. I will have wiped away your willful sins like a thick mist, and your transgressions like a cloud. Return to me, for I will have redeemed you. Sing glad song, O heavens, for Yahweh has done wonders. Shout for joy, O foundations of the earth. Break out with glad song, O mountains, O forest and all its trees. For Yahweh has redeemed Jacob, and he will glorify himself through Israel. Thus said Yahweh, your Redeemer, and the one who formed you from the womb. I am Yahweh, who has made everything, who spread out the heavens by myself, and firmed the earth of my own accord, who abrogates the omens of the stargazers and makes fools of the astrologers, who makes wise men retreat and makes their knowledge foolish, who confirms the words of his servant and fulfills the counsel of his messengers, who says of Jerusalem, It shall be settled, and of the cities of Judah, they shall be built up, and I will rebuild its ruins, who says to the depths, Dry up, and I shall dry out your rivers, who says of Cyrus, He is my shepherd, he will fulfill my desires, to say of Jerusalem, It shall be built, and of the temple, it shall be established. So there
Yeah.
again, yeah, we're back to Cyrus and how he's a tool in Yah's hand. So
Well, I feel like everybody who has an idol is really, or has an idol maker, or purchases something that's an image of something.
mm,
He's really saying some stuff about him, isn't he?
well, he is the only one. So I mean, that's got to be clear by now.
I feel like if I had the power to make something out of nothing,
Mm.
and you started worshiping the stuff that I made instead of me alone, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, think of Israel as this toddler, like running into a wall, like throwing a fit, kicking and screaming, or acting stupid, and you're just standing back, like, what are you doing to yourself? Why are you acting like that?
This picture,
And
this, go ahead.
Yah
The angels,
himself
like,
said, I.
I'm going to help you drive this picture home. The angels have a picture that his name's Ben Joyce. He throws 105 and 106 miles an hour, right? And they said of him the other day, he is going to strike a lot of people out, even though his accuracy is like a spoiled child on the mound, a spoiled toddler. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And then what you just
Yeah,
said, like we're like
like,
a
give me the
spoiled
candy
toddler.
already.
Ah! Everything else but Yahuwah, right? That's what we do.
Yeah, through history, through all times. That has been the theme. If only we return. And that's the awesome promise he says. If you only return, I'm right here. I'm still the same God. I still the same promises. They're still valid. If only you turn and you act like they're real, because they are real. He's proven himself.